So we have egos just like we have humans to carry our souls. Egos are the armor that we form throughout life and life's experiences. So when we're taking off our armor to go into heaven, we're shifting from fighting with life and ourselves to embracing life and embracing ourselves and embracing our lessons as part of God's experience for us. It takes some time to take this armor off. Maybe we've had it on for our whole life and maybe it's rusted together. But that's why we take the time. That's why we learn ourselves with patience, and that's also why we return back to ourselves at the end of the day, because every day when we're doing our best, we've done all we can. So looking back on our day and saying, I'm grateful for this. I did this differently. Oh, this experience triggered this emotion. It's going to take time, and it's not always going to go so smoothly. I have struggled with perfectionism, and that is something I'm actively abolishing in my life. Not that my soul isn't perfect, because souls are perfect, but the fact that my fault lines are exactly where God wants me to release energy. And I talked about connecting with people and allowing them close to you. And it took me a while to realize why I allowed certain people in my spaces and why I didn't allow others in my spaces. And you realize that a lot of your connections are there not so you can build with these people, but so you can get closer to yourself. And our bodies, our minds, and our souls tell us if someone or something is right for us. God will tell us when we should or should not speak. God will tell us when we are or are not meant to be in connection with that person. I met someone earlier today, and they carried a lot of the habitual practices that I've experienced around me that caused me pain and damage. And that was people trying to put you down to assert themselves over you. And this person was trying to put me down in a certain way by saying it wasn't what she said, it was how she said it. And it made me realize that this person wasn't entering my space to help me, but to show me that, I've got this. I've come to a space in my life where I know intuitively what is and isn't right. I know when I make a mistake, and I accept that, and then I take the information and wisdom from that experience and I apply it onto my life. And she was really just God affirming, hey, you've come to a completely different place. You've come to the embodiment of intuition and connection with me, where I know when God's speaking to me versus when my ego's do this or do that, because sometimes we do things and it's out of fear, and it's not out of this is God's will, this is for our greatest good. And so whenever these things happen, I like to consciously observe, and when these things happen, I get this moment, and I know everyone has the opportunity to form this connection with themselves, so I'm going to share with you. I have this moment where I pause. And if it's not utter clarity, and if it's not intuitively yes, and that intuition is a loving, guiding voice, it's not panic, you have to do this, you have to do that. I just simply say no. Because when we're around people that are truly meant for us, A, we will grow through the connection and experience. B, we will want to grow through the connection and the experience because we genuinely want these people in our lives. And then C, our bodies will feel safe with them. We'll discover new parts of ourselves that we always knew were there, but we'll discover how to connect these parts of ourselves with other people. And I'm led to the Bible phrase, You will know them by their fruits. When you look into people's eyes, you can see their souls. You can genuinely see their souls. And when you look at their bodies, you can see the energy around them. So people who don't take care of their vessel, who put unholy substances into them, who abuse the tools that God gave us, who abuse food, who abuse... I'm not going to go too into that. But you can see. You can see when people's auras or their people's energies are gray, when their faces are gray, they're holding on to trauma, they have stuck energy. You can just see. So when we're allowing people into our space and into our lives, I give you and I leave you with the advice of, is this person actively, consciously living a life aligned with God? Does this person encourage me to be my best self? Or does this person utilize me as an extension of themselves to appease their ego? You can tell the difference. We can all tell the difference. Because at the end of the day, people are living their own experience. At the end of the day, we are all living in our own dimensions. And when we live in our own dimensions, we decide if we want to live in an echo chamber, where that's when someone says something and then they look for only the confirmation of it, or when they're living actively aligned with their truth. Because people living in echo chambers, they're never going to actually see you. They're only going to see the parts of you that they resonate with. And everything else, they're going to disregard. If someone's insecure and you're secure with themselves, they're going to try to wear you down until you feel insecure too. So I'm leaving this with you because I'm hearing that some people need to cut old relationships out of their life. That you need to cut off people who want to hold you down and to want to keep you down, because that's not of God's will and that's not of your will. And in your fairy tale, the villains aren't going to win. They don't win. In your fairy tale, you win. You move through all of this. You move through all of the things that once harmed you. You forgive the experiences. You forgive those who trespassed against you, because God forgives all of your mistakes. So why hold on to something that's only going to weigh you down? In the light of heaven, there are no people who trespass against you. There are only lessons and rewards for them. The work you put in is not going unnoticed. I notice it. God sees all, and God knows your heart. This journey is full of blessings, and you get to receive them.